Hole number 1 is 60 yards and a number 17 handicap. Kids of all ages love this LIV golf course.
Hi, I'm talking to you from hole number 1. Want to tell you about 2009, about 5 of us ladies decided that we would learn how to play this game. So, because it's hole number 1, we started right here. Well, at the pro shop, there was a group of men. Dennis Sullivan, Gary Galo, Jim Dutoy, and I can't remember who all else, several others, had been sitting there all day. So, when we came out for our first time to tee off at hole number 1, you could hear the laughter all the way to the sea cottages. They thought it was the funniest thing they had ever seen. 3 weeks later, they were still laughing. We went and took lessons. Lily tried to help us. She gave us pointers. We were just impossible. We went and took the margarita lessons. I'm not sure what we learned, but we had a good time. Then one day playing with Lily on hole number 7, she took an 8-iron and put it right in the cup. It didn't roll, it didn't, nothing. It just went straight into the cup. So I said, well, gee, this game's easy. I could probably learn to do this. Well, years later, I still haven't learned to do this, but I don't tee off on number 1 anymore.
Hole number 2 is 101 yards and the handicap is number 3.
Hello, LIV friends and family. My story involves the second hole and one of my favorite people, Bill Downey, and my favorite game, 4-person wolf. Now you're going to have to use your imagination because it appears that I'm standing in a cornfield in Michigan. Actually, I'm standing at the number 2 tee box. So I hit my tee shot on number 2, and it was a beautiful shot, landing just on the approach in front of the green. So I did as I always do. Ow! I cried wolf. Bill Downing hit his tee shot, and it landed down at the bottom of the hill at the base of the palm tree. I felt I was in very good shape to win my wolf. Then Bill hit his second shot, and it hit the green and rolled into the hole for a birdie. At that point, Bill Downing and I ceased to be good friends. But then I hit my second shot, and it hit the green and rolled into the hole also for a pair of birdies to tie the hole. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Hole number 3 is 109 yards and number 4 handicap.
It's little known, but I hold a course record on this hole. A few years ago, before Mikey built his new house, on the other side of his house is a lake. I teed off on this hole. A man was sitting in a chair, and he said my ball came by him, hit the highway, and went in the lake on the other side. I think that may be a course record. So that's my story on hole number 3.
The lake there on the right has eaten many, many golf balls, and I'm sure it's going to eat many more. It's my favorite hole You got to hit across the water if you're going to hit the green. And it's one of the biggest greens. Beautiful hole. Hole number 4 is 48 yards. The handicap is 18, which says it's the easiest hole on the course.
Hi, my name is Michelle, and the reason I love hole number 4 is because we get to bartend at this hole during the Bloody Mary and Screwdriver tournament they have here. Plus, it's a nice place because my mother lives here, so we go out and practice at this hole. We're not perfect, but we're getting there. I love living at LIV. Would not rather live anywhere else. People here are very nice. They help out in any way. That's pretty much the reason why I love hole number 4.
Hole number 5 is 69 yards and the handicap is 11.
Hey, we're out here on hole number 5. It's a beautiful sunny day in Long Island Village, and this is a kind of a challenging hole for me. As you can see, the fairway is fairly narrow, and being a left-handed golfer, all of these trees come into play for me. If you're right-handed, then you have water on this side of the fairway, but then you also have water past the green. I've hit a few balls in there, but this is also the first hole that I got a birdie on this course. And this was the first time in 40 years that I had played golf after we moved here. So it had been quite a while. I'm still trying to get back into it, but like I said, it's fairly narrow. So just a smooth, easy chip shot with your pitching wedge, and you should be good. But don't hit this one long.
Hole number 6 is 66 yards and a handicap of 6. It's a bunch of 6s.
Well, welcome to hole number 6. One of the fine holes here, sponsored by Joe and Bob Chamberlain. And I'm going to tell you right now that this hole has tested my patience and my ability to maintain clean thoughts and avoid dirty language. This hole happens to have the smallest green on the course. And just in case you get close to it, it's got a turtleback shell around it that everything goes off into the water on the right or the left. And if you hit too long, well, you can hit the water on the far side as well, or go down the path and cross the main street over the fence, well off the course. I have to say that no matter how well I do when I get to this hole, it takes every bit of patience I have to just suffer through it and get it over with. Good luck on this hole. I wish you well.
Hole number 7 is 67 yards, handicap of 15.
Hi, my name is Butch Mikes. I wanted to let you know that hole number 7 is my favorite hole on this course. If you've ever played this course, after coming off of number 5 and number 6 with the narrow fairways, you step up on this green, you see this huge fairway and this enormous green, and you get a sense of relaxation, like, oh, I finally made it. But don't let it fool you. There are some gotchas on this hole. If you hit it to the left, you're going to get wet. If you hit it long, you're going to get wet. If you'll notice, there are some mounds to the left of the green. If you hit it on the other side of that mound, your ball could wind up on the number 8 tee box. But this again is my favorite hole. I've probably hit this green more than any green on the course.
Hole number 8 is the number 2 handicap hole at 109 yards.
Hi, my name is Gary. My favorite hole on this whole course is number 8. The main reason is that when you look at it from the tee, it's just visually appealing. I love the beauty of this hole. Another reason is because it's one of the longer holes, so it's cool. You get to take a regular golf swing. You don't have to cut down your golf swing at all. I love the way the water comes along the right, and it infringes in on the fairway as it gets closer to the green and then goes back out. So you have trouble on the right, it's all water, and behind the hole, there's also trouble because it's all water back there. You usually have a wind that's coming heavy from right to left, so you got to contend with the wind as well. The green is elevated and it's tilted this way, so it's receptive, but it's small, so it's hard to hit. You can bail out to the left, which is just fine. You got a bailout area, but if you're up there by the green and you're chipping back, you're going to chip to a kind of a downhill type of green, so the ball will run away from you, so it makes it very challenging. I have a favorite story I like to tell about this hole. There was a group of guys up here playing Wolf. That's a gambling game we play on the course. And supposedly everybody teed off, and then my friend Gary Walzer was one of the people in the group, and everybody went up and went to their balls, and he was walking around saying, "What happened to my ball?" So everybody fanned out and they're looking for his ball, and all of a sudden he stood up and said, "Oh, wait a minute, I never hit." So we're all looking for a ball that he never even hit. He had to go back and hit in order to make it right. So anyway, nice talking to you. Hole number 8, I love it.
Hole number 9 is a handicap of 9 and 60 yards to the pin.
So I'm playing with my wife and Rick and Janice Hansen, and we're playing a tournament, and we got to the point where we had to play Janice's drive on this hole. So Janice hits, and Rick says, "I'm going to hit," and I said, "Well, I don't need to hit because we got to play her drive." He says, no, just go ahead and hit anyway in case you get a hole-in-one. So I hit, and Rick says, "It's going in the hole, it's going in the hole," and I got a hole-in-one on this hole. But I didn't get to count it because we had to count Janice's drive as part of our tournament. So that's how I ended up getting my hole-in-one on this hole. But it was pretty cool because Rick kept saying, "You gotta play this hole, you still gotta play it." And I did that.
Hole number 10 is 77 yards and it's number 10 handicap on the course.
Good morning, my name is Ed Smith, and I thought I'd tell you a little bit of story about the LIV here at the Long Island Village Golf Course. About 10-12 years ago, I got on the beautification committee, one of the best things that's ever happened to me. We decided that we wanted to put some plants up here on the side of this hill. And while we were doing the process of doing that digging, it occurred to us that we could make an LIV out of the plants. And so we proceeded to do that. So for about 3 years, we had LIV done in plants. At the end of the first year, it was summertime, and I got a call from Daryl Bagode, who said, "You know what that stands for, that LIV?" And I said, "Yeah, Long Island Village." And he said, "No, that's 54. He says, "That's the number of holes, that's what's par on this course, is 54. So unbeknownst to me, it took on a double meaning. We were able to do well with the plants for the longest time, but the weeds just finally took over. And while we were pouring the cart paths, we had an opportunity to have a little left over. And so we dug up the plants real quick and put the plants in for the LIV and cement. After that, we painted it red, white, and blue. We painted pink for the cancer rally. It's been a pretty popular item. I'd like to also take this opportunity to thank Mike over here, who set this up and is doing this for us. This is pretty special for Long Island Village, and we appreciate it. Thank you, Mike.
Hole number 11 is 140 yards, and it's the number 1 handicap.
Well, this is hole number 11. It's the longest hole on our little par 3 golf course. In Texas, this is considered the most difficult and one of the favorite places for people to golf in Texas as far as a par 3 golf course. What makes this hole particularly difficult is that the wind always seems to be blowing against you. So what you would think would be maybe a 7-iron for 145 yards turns into a 3-wood, or the older you get, sometimes it's even a driver. Some bird went and planted that mesquite tree that you can see sitting in the middle of the fairway, and for some reason we couldn't ever get anybody to cut it down. We have trimmed it a couple of times, but it continues to get bigger and bigger and makes the shots more difficult, but I guess everybody wants a challenge. So if you come to Long Island Village and you want to play our golf course, bring something that you can hit really high and really far.
Hole number 12 is only 43 yards, but it's the number 8 handicap.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Davenport, and this is hole number 12. It's a short little hole. It's only 47 yards, but don't let that make you think it's going to be a simple one, because there's water in front of the hole and there's water behind the hole, so it can be quite challenging. Most of my friends actually hate this hole. However, for some reason, this is my favorite hole. And I believe that someday, when and if I ever get a hole-in-one, this will be the hole I do it on. So let's see what happens today. And it's over, so maybe next time.
Hole number 13 is 81 yards and the handicap is 16.
Okay, I've been asked to come out here today and explain why I think this is the best hole on the course, because I, like few others, have been able to get a hole-in-one on this length of a course. My friend Mickelson was supposed to be here today, but he got tied up in something with tigers. So otherwise, you know, he'd have been here and I'd have been able to share this day with him. But that's about it. Life's good.
Hole number 14 is 96 yards and the handicap is 7.
Hello, fellow villagers. I'm Erasmo.
I'm Esmeralda.
This is my wife. We're on 762, and we really like this hole because this is like the Great Divide. It divides the east, well, the east to the west. You know, even though it's not hole number 9, and we experienced something for the first time together here. It's a secret, but I'll let you all know about it. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. we heard our first howling here. We were teeing off here because we like to play late in the evening, and all of a sudden we started hearing the howling. So we thought it was the frogs out there on that house, because before that we were talking to them that was telling us how to tee off. But y'all come and enjoy this beautiful place here, because it's paradise for today.
Yeah, we love it here. People are awesome. Great place to be.
Y'all enjoy it. Blessings.
Hey, this is Steve Hawk. I'm at LIV hole number 15. Hole number 15 is a pretty cool hole. It looks a bit, looks easy on paper, only 69 yards to the pin, but this big wind and the water, the approach is completely over water, makes it a little bit more difficult. But don't worry about it. I'm going to show you how to do this today. So just keep watching. Mike, did you see that? I think that went in the hole, man. Let's check it out.
Hippity hop.
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Look at what I can do.
Snow angel, snow angel.
What? I just got my first hole in one. I'm celebrating. What? I don't know when I'll be done. I'm celebrating. What? Don't hit that ball. Don't hit that. God, I love this game. I'm going to show you how to do this today. So just keep watching. Go, go, go. God, I hate this game. Hope it didn't get that. Did it get that?
Hole 16 is 83 yards and a number 14 handicap.
Hey there everybody, this is Mitchell Horwath out here on my favorite par 3 course. Hole number 16, my favorite hole, for quite a few reasons. One is you're elevated, you can see the rest of the course out there, plus it's easier to get onto that green because I shoot a very high ball, and when it comes down, I got that extra drop, lands on the green, stays, doesn't roll off. The other nice thing about it is you got a huge green down there, it's nice and level, doesn't arch or anything. But my favorite is, and I know a lot of them, Mike even told me on the way here, he kind of helped it. See that little bunker off to the left there, that little hill? You hit that, it bounces to the right and ends up on the green, so you got a really big green to handle with. The other nice thing about it is, the water is off to the right and very seldom do I see anybody go in that water. Me once in a while, but very seldom. So that's a nice thing. But my favorite hole, for a reason, is when I played against Gary Steffen, he was on the green, I went behind it, I chipped it up on his woof and got a 2, and he was not excited about it. So that was my favorite one. The other nice thing about this hole is you can actually, because we have this problem out here, a lot of wind. If you look back, you see this huge windsock up there, you know exactly how fast and what direction that wind's coming from, so you can actually play that a little bit easier rather than looking for a flag someplace or throwing grass up in the air. So those are the reasons why I like this hole, and I actually do pretty good on this hole. So that's my story.
Hole number 17 is 82 yards and a handicap of 13.
My name is John. This is my favorite hole. These are my partners in crime, by the way. And this is my first ever birdie. I barely got on the green, and I hit myself a really long putt. And
John,
I love living here.
How long was the putt?
I really don't know.
Let's call it 20 feet.
20 foot.
Oh, 25.
25 sounds good to me. 25 feet. It was a 25-foot putt.
And you got a
birdie.
Starts with a B. You got a birdie.
I got a birdie. I got a birdie out of it.
First birdie.
My first birdie ever.
Ever in your whole life?
On this hole right here. And LIV is a great place to be. It's an awesome community here.
Yeah.
Hole 18 is 75 yards and the number 12 handicap.
Hi everybody, my name is Grant Lewis. We're here at Long Island Village. Hole number, here it is, hole number 18. This is 75 yards, a dog leg left, over the water. Fantastic hole. I actually, this is my second hole-in-one. I've had 2. This is my second one. Love this hole. It is great. As you can see, there's trees. There's trees in the way. I've hit those trees. Everybody has. Hit the water, hit the trees. I've hit the clubhouse. But this is one of my favorite holes. I love this hole. I think it's great. Hole-in-one. And that's coming from the resident golf pro here. So if I say it's a good hole, it's a great hole. And in closing, I want to thank Mike Farrell for doing this. He's awesome. He does so many great things for Long Island Village with photos and updates and videos. He does a great job. So I just want to send this off with big thank you to Mike and the board members and LIV who does a great job. I love living here. Long live LIV. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
We finally arrived at my favorite hole on the course. There's no par, and the handicap are welcome.
Hey everyone, this is Bob Champion, Bobby Z, a whole bunch of other things people call me around here. I'm here at the 19th hole, here at LIV, or in other words, known as Paradise. My friend Mike asked me to say a few words about this awesome hole. Good people, good friends, and since I'm not a golfer, probably the best hole out here because they got cold beer. So come on out, have a good time, enjoy it here at the 19th hole.